Last week, I taught you guys how to take your relationships to the next level using the Slack app. And as promised, I'm going to show you how to make all of those amazing ideas stick in as little as 15 minutes. Disclaimer guys, I did not come up with the ideas in this video. I was looking for a better way to do things to get the most out of life, and I found it in this book. Hey yo, it's called The Perfect Week Formula, and if you want a copy, I will leave it down in the description below. I've read this twice to make sure it is worth your time. Guys, to get the most out of life, it all begins with this. This is a trigger. This is also a trigger. When squeezing said trigger, it releases an incredible, unbelievable smell that triggers my brain and tells me it is time to get work done. So step number one, in order to have it all, as a 9-to-5 employee as well as an entrepreneur, is create a trigger. It doesn't have to be complicated, guys. The easier that you make this, the easier it will be to make it a great habit. For me, it's very simple. I fill up whatever this thing is called, Magic 8 Ball looking, with water, couple of sprays, one for the homies. Okay, maybe a couple for the homies. And that's it. My brain is now primed and ready to own whatever I put in front of it. So create yourself a simple trigger to unlock your inner genius. Once you're triggered, it is now time to set aside at least an hour of uninterrupted time on a Sunday morning so that you can schedule your perfect week. The more that you do this, the less time it's going to take, but for now, set aside an hour on an early Sunday morning, because if you try to do this on a Sunday night, you might have anxiety for the week, you might be too tired, and if you wait till Monday, well, you have already lost. You got your triggers, it's a beautiful Sunday morning, and now you are ready to schedule your perfect week. You want to make yourself a simple 7x7 grid like the one that you see here. What you're about to see has completely revolutionized my life and has allowed me to have plenty of family time, personal self-care, weekly date nights, workouts, and sleep. And I'm able to do all of this all while having a 9-to-5 job and being a full-time boob tuber. If you feel as uneasy as I did when I started this, trust me, it works. The very first thing that I need you to put on that calendar is date night, and here is why. You're not gonna believe this. The author in this book, Craig Ballantyne, he says, in an 80-year study conducted by Harvard University, one of the longest running studies in history, researchers began charting and tracking the health and well-being of 268 Harvard sophomores to answer a simple question. What makes a well-lived life? Over the following decades, the study expanded to include over 1,300 adults, including lawyers, bankers, entrepreneurs, and even U.S. presidents, as well as alcoholics, schizophrenics, and addicts. They tracked everything from these individuals' income, health habits, relationships, and hobbies to try and see if there was more or less a common formula that leads to a well-lived life. And after decades of research, they came to a profound conclusion. It was how satisfied they were in their relationships. The people who were the most satisfied in their relationships at age 50 were the healthiest at age 80. So it is not how much money you make or how sexy you look in your birthday suit that determines how happy and healthy you are, but the quality of your relationships. So whether you are married or you're still on the prowl, make sure to set a time every single week to work on your relationships. Guys, it has got to be the same time every single week if you want to make this stick. For me and my wife, damn you fine. My wife might be around because it's getting hot in here. Every Friday at 7:30 p.m. we have our date night. We don't accept no invitations, appointments, or late work nights that would interrupt and prevent us from having that needed one-on-one time for a healthy marriage, and I suggest that you do the same. If you're not married yet, then select a time and day every single week where you're gonna be on the prowl to get yourself that caliente campanero. Next on your perfect week is family time. If you're in a relationship or you do have kids, that's going next on your calendar. But not just any family time. Phone-free family time. This is gonna be hard for some of you. I'll feel your pain. I love you too. No! My precious. You're going to begin with a phone-free 3-hour block of time once a week. The goal is to make it an entire day. An entire day? I can only manage 3 hours myself before I want to go postal. But remember that relationships make you the happiest, not your precious. Next on your calendar, you're going to want to put any social events with friends, workouts, or any other self-care activities like massages, meditation, journaling, spirituality, etc. Look, we're going to screw off from time to time, that's a given. So instead of beating yourself up over it, schedule it into your routine. I actually schedule in my GFE every single week, or my guilt-free entertainment. I want you to notice how I called it guilt-free. You see, I actually put it in my schedule in a way where I don't have to feel guilty that I'm slacking off because I've put in the work and deserved that entertainment. So I want you to schedule your GFE or anything else that completely relieves you physically and mentally and recharges you at least once a week to keep you running hot for years to come. My guilt-free entertainment, it is cutscene video games. I'm talking Last of Us, Uncharted series, and your Gears of War series. Once all of your self-care routines are on your calendar, it is now time for your peak performance routines. These are the secrets that all high-level performers do to be the best at what they do. You're gonna put your Sunday planning in your calendar. Also, at the end of every working day, you're going to take 15 minutes for RPP. Reflection, planning, and preparation to reflect on what you did well, what you could have done better, so you can set up tomorrow to have win after win after win. Immediately after my RPP, my reflection, planning, and preparation, I like to shut stuff down, go outside, and do a little BVM, breathing, meditation, and visualization. So basically I sit down, I breathe, I visualize executing my perfect day and my perfect week, I get a little meditation in, and just get myself centered for the rest of the night. Next, grab your phone and set your reverse alarm as well as your 10, 3, 2, 1, 0 alarms for sustained success, anxiety-free sleep, and relaxation. If you've been following this channel for a while, you're probably pretty familiar with the reverse alarm, but if you're new here, it goes a little something like this. You simply set an alarm to go off 1 hour before you want to go to bed. Now, before you start talking about how busted my phone is, this is just one that we have laying around the house. 10 hours before you go to bed, no more stimulants. Even that pre-workout, sir. 3 hours before bed, no more eating. Put it down. 2 hours before bed, stop working and turn off all work-related electronics. 1 hour before bed, turn off all electronics like your phone and TV. 0. The amount of times you'll hit your snooze button. Next, I want you to add your buffer time to your calendar because studies show that on average we underestimate how productive we can be by 3 times. So if you predict it's going to take you an hour to do something, it's probably going to take you 3 times as long, unless it's something you do frequently. So choose a day that works for you where you can have 3 hours of buffer time to get done everything you couldn't during the week. And add 2 different 30-minute blocks throughout the week as well. And if you have check-ins with a coach or accountability partner, schedule that here too. You guys, you are doing amazing. And if you're getting value from this video, drop me one of these bad boys down below to let me know that this is what you want to see. Have you ever experienced a time you had crazy focus and clarity and got more done in a single morning than you would normally do in an entire day? It wasn't a fluke. That's called your magic time. And what I have found is that there are a few times throughout the entire day where we can strategically build your week around to maximize that focus and clarity to produce more income, impact, and legacy for you and your family. But you can't discover your magic time to supercharge your results until you track your time. I downloaded this app right here called Interval Timer, and I'm sure that you could find something for Android too. Look, truth be told, it ain't the most convenient thing in the world, but if you want a different life than what you have now, then amigo, you gotta start taking different actions, you feel me? During the time when you are awake, I want you to set a recurring timer to go off every 20 minutes for 3 days. You do this, and you're gonna be well on your way to discovering your magic time. What I discovered for myself is that there are 3 specific times in my day where I can get into a state of flow very easy to crank out crazy content just like this at 2 or 3 times the rate. The first is 45 minutes after I wake up, which is right around 4:45 in the morning. The second is about 2 hours after that, which is around 6:45, and then again between 9 and 10. So what I do and what you can learn from this is, if you know the times when you're the freshest and most productive, doesn't it make sense to use that time for your most important areas of life to give you the most joy and impact? And to make sure that you safeguard that time from any interruptions and distractions? And if you struggle with being interrupted all the time, look, I get it. I've been there too. Check out last week's video where I show you how to live a more interruption-free life. Look, if you really want to get ahead in life, schedule yourself, I can't believe I'm telling you this, schedule yourself a 90-minute magic time sesh on an early Saturday morning. When people are sleeping in, nursing hangovers, and regretting yesterday's decisions and falling behind, you're gonna be absolutely freaking killing it. Once you have scheduled all of your self-care routine and date night non-negotiables, peak performance routines to ensure sustained success, scheduled your magic time to be 2 to 3 times more productive than any other part of the day, then, and only then, is it time to answer the question that's been on your mind this entire time. When do I get around to working? With all of these things taking up your time, you're gonna realize very quickly it is nearly impossible to work 60 to 70 hours per week, forcing you to be very intentional about what you do with your time if you have a side hustle or if you're a full-time entrepreneur. It made me get very honest with myself about the work that I was actually doing, making it very hard for me to do things that don't push my business forward. It made me realize I need to delegate certain things and, to be quite frank, get rid of things that no one should do, things that only comforted me into thinking I was being productive and getting things done. Quick reminder guys, I have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time as quickly as possible so that I can monetize my channel, so that I can hire a full-time videographer, buy better equipment, hire an editor. I can crank out way more content than what I'm doing now for you guys so that you can achieve your dream life quicker, as well as I can quit my 9-to-5 job and I can live my dream life too. So if you got value from today's video, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified every single Monday when I drop fresh new content to set you up for your week. Also, don't forget, like, share, and comment down below what's your biggest takeaway from today's video. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. I'm doing something new, not really sure what I'm doing, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. How's the lighting? And until then, make today great, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And then we just walk into the corner.
That's what we call money.